20 gigs of freaking update that we have to download for Far Cry 6. I think the DLC is probably included already. Good that you're watching to the video on demand of my live reaction to the Far Cry 6 new expansion reveal. And as you can see, there's also an update out right now. We will probably do a video at some point when we find the time. Gotham Knights had a big update as well. It's kind of crazy out there, but it's fun. I prefer this over nothing happening. But yeah, of course, everything has to happen at the same time. Hey, you can't win, but enough to look forward to. Once I'm like, we're knees deep in Midnight Suns right now. Look forward to some videos on that. So yeah, today we're gonna check out the reveal for the Far Cry 6 expansion. And maybe you're like, for the first time hearing that Far Cry 6 is getting an expansion. Because Ubisoft is not really talking about it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy actually. But they are doing the event right now. I'm just waiting for Ubisoft to like put up their stream. Because then we can like watch it. But I can like already show you this. So if I like do this, I can like go like this.
What is this?
So this is the name of the expansion, and this like the tune-in teaser, and it's going live in like 10 minutes, but there would be like a sort of pre-show as well or something. So I'm here, I'm waiting. Thanks everyone for joining. Good to see Timon and Wesley there in the chat as well. Love your content, thanks a lot for that. I saw Guy Smiley saying, I want metaverse and lots of NFTs for this DLC. Well, let's not hope so. But you never know with Ubisoft. Although look at the freaking, the purple crystals. Like that is totally their quartz sort of thing that they infected Ghost Recon with. Glad they're not doing that anymore.
What is this?
So they looped it. Okay, they looped it. Okay, why not? So yeah, in the meantime, the update is downloading. I don't think... Maybe I can like quickly go into the game after we watch like the reveal for the thing. Is this standalone like New Dawn? No, it's a Far Cry 6 expansion. It's smaller than New Dawn. This is all from their financial call. And it's coming out still this year. So we will likely get an announcement like that it's dropping in a few weeks' time or something. Yeah, that is all we know. It's kind of interesting though. And it's also like just very interesting that they're not like shouting this from the rooftops. They posted on Friday evening, they posted a tweet saying, hey, we're gonna reveal the expansion for Far Cry 6. Now, I've been talking about it for some time because, again, they already had it in their financial call and stuff. And I think there were some hints as well, like other small hints. But yeah, they had it on Friday night. And usually news on Friday night, not very good. Because everyone, like, it's like 6 p.m. on a Friday night in Europe. Of course, then everyone in the Pacific time zone wakes up. So for them, it's like early in the morning. But still, Friday is usually slower day. People are already anticipating their weekend, etc., etc. That's also when they drop the blog post for Valhalla with New Game Plus is not coming. News like that usually drops on a Friday. So the first tweet was like that on a Friday. Yesterday they had it as well. Monday, hey, tune in tomorrow. That's what you're seeing here, like the sort of thing we have here for the reveal of this DLC. And that makes me kind of worried. It makes me worried that this is just like something they were working on, and so we will see what it is. I am happy that they are doing like a freaking update as well. And yeah, there is New Game Plus in Far Cry 6, not in Valhalla, which kind of our IP. So I'm gonna like look at the stream from... Oh yeah, they have it here. So we're going to switch to Twitch because they have it live on Twitch. Wow. Okay, this looks pretty cool. We're already seeing some things. It looks like a maze there to the right here, like looks like a kind of maze. Multiverse, of course. A lot of people have been talking about that. We see some town, like, is it Esperanza or is it like something else? So yeah, I usually, or sometimes I'm like lucky enough to like get a presentation beforehand. They did not do that either. That could also be a red flag, because like why would they like they're not spending any like PR resources really on this. But yeah, that also means that I'm gonna watch this fresh. I don't know anything. I only know the things that are already out there from the event. What do the crystals mean? Good question. Yes, Boris, I got it now. Thanks. And like, there is a small part of me hoping, or like a big part of me hoping, but a small part of me expecting that there is gonna be an extra tease. That it's gonna be like, okay, this is the end of Far Cry 6. I mean, a lot of people thought it was already gonna be the end of Far Cry 6, so that is kind of interesting. But that is also like, but like, Ubisoft wants 3 big franchises to kind of carry them. Or like, you can, yeah, Tom Clancy franchise, like the Tom Clancy games, Assassin's Creed. We already know everything for Assassin's Creed. So yeah, that looks big. That looks massive. Tom Clancy, we know Division Heartland, we know Division Mobile, we know Rainbow Six Siege, Rainbow Six Extraction, Ghost Recon gets a new game. So yeah, X-Deviant, which not Tom Clancy anymore, but still, we know, okay, they have a lot for Tom Clancy. For Far Cry, it's like, okay, what are they going to do next? We have this expansion now kind of out of nowhere. But yeah, usually this would have been their New Dawn or Primal type experience. That would be standalone, $40. This is gonna be not like that. It's gonna be smaller. They already have the Game of the Year edition revealed, which includes this expansion. And there you can kind of see that it's gonna be like $20, $30, something like that. Watch Dogs is so dead. Yes, I see people say that. And that's kind of sad. We made a video about that as well. Like, I still think it's gonna come back at some point. But, like, Ubisoft is in, like, a very, very, like, they can only go up from now, but they have to, yeah, they have to do things right. And if you're, like, kind of struggling, you want to go for the safe bets, right? And the safe bets right now are Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy, and Far Cry. Although Far Cry is kind of like Far Cry 5 was like, I think, the peak for the franchise. And after that, it kind of fell down. Far Cry 6 still did great, but not as good as Far Cry 5. And that's maybe why they're like, okay, we're entering this next era for Far Cry. Where Far Cry, like we have rumors, Far Cry 7... Not even sure if they're gonna call it Far Cry 7. It's probably going to be, once again, this sort of Infinity type thing. Where they always talked about, with the next-gen consoles, we can maybe do multiple islands or multiple cities or whatever in one game. So that it's not like, okay, this is just the tropical Far Cry. Okay, this is just the Hope County Far Cry with the farms and the churches. What if we can go to multiple areas? They already experimented with that with New Dawn. We went on these expeditions. We saw these special operations in Far Cry 6 as well. So yeah, I think we will see more of that. I'm really looking forward. I'm just, like, from all the things that Ubisoft is doing, first I was like mostly looking forward to Assassin's Creed and knowing what they would do. Now that we know that, sounds great. What is the next step for Far Cry? Because the team that made Far Cry 6 is not the same team that made Far Cry 5. So, the people that worked on Far Cry 5 have been working on something for a long time. Don't think it will still drop anytime soon, because one of, like, the big bosses left, but we will see. So yeah, I hope we get, like, a tease. I still think I was wrong about this being the Falls DLC. I was wrong about this being Blood Dragon related, because they do have an anime for that. I don't think that's this, because it seems, like, random, and I think they would have, like, talk more about it. But I do think that this is like I do hope that we get a teaser for, and this is just the beginning of a new era for Far Cry. Maybe that sounds a bit too cheesy, but New Game Plus for Far Cry 6. Well, Papidupoo, guess what's downloading right now? Man, I'm totally excited for the last mission for Valhalla. Next week, of course, we'll be streaming it. But yeah, I'm downloading the update for Far Cry 6 right now, which includes New Game Plus. So it's up right now. You can download it on every platform, which is a big W. Big W. What about a reverse world where you are the bad guy? I don't know. Because we kind of had that already with the expansions. I think it was cool. Like, I think that expansion mostly showed Fast. There's way more that we can learn from him. I think Joseph and Pagan, like, I think we closed the book on them. Fast, though, still alive, out of nowhere. In Yara. It was the secret cutscene at the end of Far Cry 6. We heard him talk. Then, if you like played, I think if you like finished the final challenge, right, the highest difficulty for the Fast DLC, you could see the cutscene. And in the Stranger Things DLC, which I still think is like my favorite content they did for Far Cry 6, and yeah, for every like easy, the best free content they did for Far Cry period. So I hope it's something like that. I hope this is something like the Stranger Things stuff. Like, I don't mind them getting a bit crazy, because at one point we've killed soldiers, and yeah, there's not much else you can do with like humanoid factions. So I don't mind if they, after we had like a grounded experience, go a bit crazy. That's why I like the Stranger Things stuff a lot. But yeah, there was a story there, and I thought it was like 45 minutes, an hour or something. But I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm like fine with that. So I'm curious what this is. I believe we're a far cry away from that. Time yourself out. No, I'm kidding. Far Cry Primal was top notch. Like, I once again think, just like with Assassin's Creed. Like, sure, not like as much as Assassin's Creed, but still they have like a very large lineage. And what if there's a Far Cry 7 game where it's like, it's once again a launcher with like multiple areas you can go back to, including new content for like a Primal type game. And yeah, I think that would be really cool. So I think the possibilities are there. I think it's like obvious they have to do something. Far Cry 6, more of the same. I thought it was like the best executed version of what they were trying to do this last generation with a Ubisoft open world game. But yeah, that game, of course, delayed thanks to COVID. Still, it's it was like you played a game like this before, which at the time I thought it was great. I thought it was fine, but yeah, I can see why people are like, we need more. And I do think they cannot make a game like that again with the towers and base captured, and you see the guy like waving a flag. Okay, let's go. Very cool animation.
Welcome, folks, to the place where you're going to learn what's next for Far Cry 6. I'm your host, Chris Waters, and today we're showing you the new expansion that's coming out very, very soon, and the new features for Far Cry 6 that are out today. What are these new features, you may ask? Well, friends, these are those features.
It's been a hell of a year in Far Cry 6, but the thrills are just kicking up.
What?
Starting with a free trial for the game, available now on all platforms. Explore, survive, and liberate the first island, Isla Sontorio, and discover why critics say Far Cry 6 is a non-stop thrill ride from start to finish, and the strongest entry in the series. Join millions of players in the Far Cry community for free and get a taste of what Yara has.
That's pretty cool. So you got like the tutorial island to like play around in.
Your progression will be saved when you buy the full game.
Demos, they're back.
Now, whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a seasoned gorilla, much has changed in Far Cry 6 since day one. Kicking things off with the highly requested New Game Plus mode, available now for free.
Whoa! Valhalla, are you watching?
Begin a new journey with all your equipment. Relive your favorite missions with better gear, opening new possibilities. Enjoy the new Completionist Aid feature that will help you track your progression as you uncover all of Yara's secrets. Let's also not forget about all the other updates added throughout the year.
It really feels as if they have been supporting this game for like the whole year, but they stopped in March. So weird.
Enjoy the new ammo system. No more running to a workbench mid-fight.
Yeah, that's great. This is like one of the best
4
features
new
they added.
loadout slots.
Loadout slots.
To adapt to any situation in the middle of the action. As well as new interactions with your favorite amigos. They like cars too now. Enjoy the 4 explosive special operations added since launch by yourself or with a friend in co-op. And last but not least, experience our 3 free blockbuster crossover missions featuring Danny Trejo, Rambo, and Stranger Things.
What the hell is that?
Whether you are new to the fight or a returning vet looking for new thrills, there has never been a better time to get to Yara. The Far Cry community welcomes you with open arms.
It's been a fast-paced and action-packed year on Far Cry 6. We've added a bunch of new features as well as new content. Some of the highlights include the
Again,
ability to
it's
swap
like
your ammo
a
on
few
the
months
fly,
this year.
switching
They added
into that
stuff.
incendiary or AP ammo as the situation demands. Customizable loadouts, allowing you to change out which gear set you're using.
Yeah,
based
this
on
was
the
a
enemy
year
you're
ago.
facing. There were some amigos that really should be riding in cars with you that we made sure could, you know, especially folks like Chicharron and Chorizo. You feel so bad when you leave them on the side of the road. They need to come with you in the car.
Good dog.
So we've got 3 big highlighting features for the Far Cry 6 update today. We have Completionist Aid, which allows players who want to find that last activity or that last collectible a little bit of aid to figure out where they missed that one to get that 100% mark. You still have to find them. You still get that experience, that gameplay, but gives you the ability to hone in on where those remaining elements are. We've got New Game Plus. For those of you who have already finished the campaign who want to come back and try all the new things we've added, experience Far Cry again, bringing your gear with you on this new journey, but rediscovering the world of Yara. And finally, for players who haven't already experienced Far Cry 6, we have a free trial allowing you to play through Isla Santuario, see the opening chapter of Far Cry 6 and Danny's experience in Yara before deciding if you want to continue on.
Well, how about that? New Game Plus, Completionist Aid, plus a free trial for Far Cry 6. It's all available for free. Update your game, it'll be in there now. Immediately following this showcase, I'll be playing Far Cry 6 with creative director Ben Hall right here to show off these new features and check them out. I hope you'll stick around. Now, I did mention an expansion, and an expansion you shall have. Here is your exclusive first look at Far Cry 6 Lost Between Worlds.
Okay. What? That's next week. What the heck? Okay. Same day as Valhalla update. Why?
Inga, I'm dead.
You were, but I brought you back.
What are you?
A non-corporeal extraterrestrial consciousness. You destroyed my vessel, and until you help me fix it, we're both stuck here.
Oh no, I need to get out. What even is this place?
A fractured world. A non-linear progression of rifts. Each a different reality. With different rules, different dangers.
I'm for some reason getting Forgotten Saga vibes. Like that it's that type of content. Not sure what to think of the enemies. Yeah, that's Esperanza area.
You said we'd both get out of here. Did you lie?
I'm sorry, but this isn't over.
Okay, new outfit, I think.
Lost Between Worlds is going to be a new chapter for Danny Rojas and the player, where we're going to take what they know about Yara, and we're going to rip it to pieces, and we're going to fuse it back together again with this extraterrestrial story, which throws Danny and the player into these different situations.
Danny goes to investigate a meteorite and discovers it's not a meteorite at all, it's actually spacecraft. And this spacecraft contains an extraterrestrial named Faye.
We have a name.
This vessel that they come across in the forest is going to end up getting them trapped, and they're going to be trapped inside what we call encasement.
Kind of like a protection protocol to protect Faye. Danny learns that she's going to be there for at least 5 million years.
5 million. I got shit to do. I need out of here.
Danny Rojas needs to repair Faye's vessel by gathering 5 shards that were broken off when Danny shot the vessel when first encountering it. Each of these shards can only be reached by traversing a series of rifts, which are fractured simulations of the world of Yara injected with extraterrestrial simulation elements,
The environments
such
at least
as
look very
obscene
awesome, but
amounts of lightning,
I'm only seeing the same enemies.
moving cities that would normally be above land underwater.
And each of the different rifts is going to bring a new, fresh,
the art
different
design is
experience that's really
insane.
gonna push survival. You're going to have to overcome combat. You're going to have to parkour.
Okay, they
you're
have
gonna have to
the
solve
shuffle
puzzles.
enemies again.
The gameplay is highly varied. It puts Danny in situations that we haven't seen before. And Danny's been in some pretty strange situations, so, you know, that's saying a lot.
Each rift's got something different about it that's going to give you a new surprise. One of the ones that stands out to me is Storm Runner, where you'd get dropped in, it's nighttime. At first, things look kind of normal, and you're like, okay, what's happening? You step out into the rain, and boom! You get almost struck to death by a lightning strike, and it turns out that as part of the simulation being damaged, that particular rift was there to gain knowledge about weather and weather systems. So now you've got to try and work out your path, moving from safety spot to safety spot, defending yourself against shard faces, which are the defense units that the vessels basically employed and spawned to
No,
protect
not those.
itself against
Those were
you.
for Far Cry 5. Like, did they use them for
To collect the
freaking
5 shards, you've got to
Stranger
jump
Things
through the
content?
different rifts, and
Okay,
each
but
of the rifts
why?
have got 2 portals. A
There are
purple
no
one and
new
an orange
enemies
one,
in
and
this.
They're in
They're
different
just
places
like
in the
they look
rift,
different.
and to get to them, there'll be different puzzles to solve. There'll be different objectives,
God.
and then as a player, you get to decide which one of the portals you're going to jump through, and that's going to lead you through to get to one of the shards. If you're successful, you bring that back to Faye. Cool things are going to happen. You're maybe going to get, some superpowers and some new gear, new tools that are going to help you next time you go through. And then you can use the rift map to then decide, okay, I didn't go that way last time, I'll go that way. Or I did go that way and I know that's got something cool in it, so I'm going to jump in there again. I'm going to use my fractal bomb, which is maybe one of the tools that you can collect, that's going to give you shortcuts through that rift. You can start to master the rift. So each time you come back with a shard, you get more powerful, you get more knowledgeable, and you start to be able to carve your own path as you work your way through the rifts.
We wanted something that was easy to pick up, easy to get into, that develops nuance and depth and encourages mastery over time. We landed on a color combat mechanic of red and blue. I can swap between that ammo on the fly, or I can have weapons set up with one ammo or another. And these very simple, straightforward choices allow for the development of strategy and mastery as you learn which enemy archetypes are going to be which color, because they're all either red or blue. There are none that are both. You'll find that certain approaches and strategies are more appropriate for you in that moment. Sometimes you need to stand and fight. Sometimes you need to run and gun. Sometimes you want to stealth. Sometimes you just need to run. We knew there would be accessibility concerns that we needed to tackle. And so we've leveraged a host of features to ensure that everyone can customize the experience to meet their needs.
Those enemies,
and
I don't want to
continue
see them anymore.
Enjoy that core mechanic of Lost Between
We're like
Worlds.
5 minutes into the game and I'm only seeing those enemies with the
There will
shovel
be
for Far
moments
Cry
in Lost
5.
Between Worlds where you will die. You'll take a wrong turn and you'll end up dropping to your death in a bubbling pool
But
of
then
lava
it's only the
somewhere.
beginning.
And you may be thinking at that point, I'm so close to getting a shard, and I'm gonna go all the way back to the encasement, and I'm gonna go back to Faye. I'm gonna lose my weapons, I'm gonna lose my gadgets, and I'm gonna have to start out.
You probably haven't grasped this, but time isn't linear with everything.
I live, I die.
So you can go back to Faye, and you can do the run again. You can use the shortcuts you've unlocked, and you can work your way back through the rifts. You could try a different path and avoid that rift altogether. Or you can use what we call glints. So spread throughout the rifts are these small, shimmering, cool things that make this really interesting sound, so they always catch your attention no matter where they are, but quite often they'll be out of the way. So if you go off and explore the rifts and you actually spend time looking in some of the nooks and crannies, those glints then become something that you can use to retry a rift where you are. So you can save your progression by using the glints that will let you retry a rift. So as you play more, you collect more glints, you get more powerful, you find more shortcuts, and each of these different parts make you more powerful and allow you to get quicker and quicker at going off and finding the shards and repairing the vessel.
I see.
Players are going to have to navigate many of the rifts more than once. And we knew that from the beginning, so we wanted to make sure that there was a development and a growth to that experience. First and foremost, we wanted the rifts to be something players could learn and master.
So after you've collected your first shard, you've done a successful run, you've survived, and as part of that scenario, you're going to get a new tool.
And those tools include a rift key, a fractal bomb, and a grapple hook. The rift key can be used to open doors that seem out of place many times. Once you have the key, you can go right through and find a shortcut. The
But it's
fractal
like-
bomb allows crystal walls
And
to
that's
be
always
destroyed
like
by
with
players.
post-launch for Far Cry. They're making
Allowing you to
new,
find new
like,
routes,
just
new
give an
levels,
open world
allowing
to
you find
explore.
upgraded weapons.
That, just
other
like the base game.
goodies,
Why is
yes.
all the
And the
DLC
grapple
always
hook unlocks new
different?
routes as well.
And this is all part of the process of as you collect shards and you bring them back, you get more powerful. You take
I see
new routes
Commander
through the
Jane
rifts that you've
Shepard
been through
asking the real
before that give you a
questions.
new experience.
Is this free or paid? No, it is paid. And like I said, like,
This primitive form gets
it
shit
kind of
done.
looks like Forgotten Saga, only Forgotten Saga had
with
new enemies,
creating an
boss
extraterrestrial
fights.
character. There were many different archetypes to consider. And ultimately we landed on an archetype for Faye that revolved around the superior AI who believes that humans are quite primitive.
If the protocol actually kills you, think of what I'll learn then.
But we decided to put a spin on that. Players will find the outcome kind of unexpected, a little bit terrifying without spoiling anything. Ultimately, I hope they're satisfied by the story and the journey that they've gone on in Lost Between Worlds.
We wanted to put Danny in a situation where
this area
it
looks
was
awesome.
them, and with a little help from Faye, really have to go on this journey together. And it's really about discovering a little bit more about who they are and their relationship and their arcs and how they change throughout the narrative.
Has your soggy meat brain forgotten how it reached this cavern?
We had the entire team
I'm just
pitching
kind of
level
over AIs at
concepts.
this point. I'm
And
like,
these
they all are
concepts
set
were
the
developed
same.
alongside the story.
I'll give it a go to
itself.
Jonathan.
We
Me too, like, I
really
will totally
got
play
build
this.
Something unique.
It's just that
surreal.
if you told me, whoa, there's
awesome,
gonna be an
process
expansion
that
for Far Cry
I
6,
think was quite successful.
I was like, okay, I can come up with awesome ideas.
Once
sure if
more, for
this
those
is
of you
what we-
updating the
what
group
we wanted,
thread,
but-
Lost Between Worlds, the new Far Cry 6 expansion, is out next week on December 6th. A mere 7 days
Yeah,
until
that's
you
crazy.
can dive into a fractured reality of surprising and
Maybe good,
thrilling and
because
very dangerous
otherwise maybe people
connected
would have
worlds.
forgotten about it.
There's a few ways you can do that. You
Okay.
own Far Cry 6, you pick up Lost Between Worlds for a cool $19.99. That's it, you're in.
oh whoa, there was an
Or
overlay still
snag
there.
the upgrade pass, which includes the Lost Between Worlds expansion and the season pass, including all the play as villain DLCs. That's on sale for just $30.
Damn,
Scenario
that's a
3.
steal
You
for the
don't
freaking
own
season
Far Cry
pass.
6.
10
Treat
bucks.
yourself to the whole kit and caboodle, which is on sale now for 60% off. That's the full game, the Lost Between Worlds expansion, the season pass with all the DLC, $50, all in. And that's our show. Far Cry 6 Lost Between Worlds is out on December 6th. We hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. And now, the stream continues. Creative director Ben Hall is joining me. We're diving into
Yeah,
Far
the
Cry
stream
6 to show
continues.
off all the new features that were just updated today. What's so plus?
New Game Plus. I mean, a steal for... everything is getting out of context immediately. What I'm saying is that $20 for... or $30 for the expansion that is $20 and the season pass that is normally $40, that is maybe not a steal, depends on how you look at it, but that is like a good deal. That's a good deal. We don't, like, I'm sure that we saw some, maybe I'm gonna go to my game because the update is ready. I'm gonna go to the Ubisoft sort of page, and then we can like watch the thing again. Let's see, the announcement trailer. Let's just boot up the announcement trailer and like talk over it. But like, we are seeing weapons here, like with the crystal things. I'm sure we will get that, right? Like, we can totally take that to New Game Plus. So that should be exciting if you are planning to play this. But again, yeah, too much competition. I feel that as well. Like, Paul, like, today also Gotham Knights is released. Callisto Protocol comes out. Midnight Suns that I'm playing a lot. Valhalla gets the update next week. If you're into Rainbow Six, there's an update for that as well. Many games, little time, and Black Friday just happened. So, like, I'm just kind of curious who this is for. Like, again, I will totally play it because I just want to know what... I mean, some of the gameplay ideas that they talked about, I think the blue and red system is pretty interesting. So you have these blue enemies and these red enemies. Because that was kind of always the case with the Far Cry battle, or like the Far Cry sort of gun system. It was like very... At one point you were like, okay, but the armor-piercing rounds are always the best. So I'm always going to use them. While you, of course, also had fire, poison. And what they're doing now is they give you 2 types of ammo, or like 2 types of guns. Like, see, you can like switch them out. And they only work on 1 type of enemy, so you really are forced to switch. I think that's good. That's a good idea. That's a cool thing. I just don't think that if you've done a freaking season pass that was like basically the same but with a different character, and that was also kind of like roguelite inspired. Then you have the chance to make another DLC and you make basically a similar type of experience. Like, they're talking, like, when you die, you go back to this AI. They have like a system where if you like grab crystals, you can like basically get a revive, similar to in the Fast DLC. Complete this challenge, they get a revive. So if you die, you actually get back up. Seems kind of similar here. So yeah, I just don't know. I think it's just like that they really got like a small budget for this. They were like, okay, we usually do Far Cry 6, did not set the world on fire at launch. Let's try and make like we want to like sell the game for a good amount of money. Let's go for the Game of the Year edition. And then $50 now. Put everything in. And then we can still like hopefully make some extra money on this game. And yeah. And I mean, I can totally see why they only started really teasing this event yesterday. And why it's launching next week. I think that's smart. Because if they announce this and then it's coming out early 2023, everyone would have forgotten about it. Unless this is free, Ubisoft can keep it. I think I do. Yeah, we do see like kind of a new outfit here. I do think this DLC is kind of victim of Ubisoft's own sort of post-launch strategy for other games. Like in a Rainbow Six or Assassin's Creed, this would be free. Like this looks, again, I said it already. I think the Forgotten Saga, if they asked $20 for it, I think that looked more appealing to me. More like a lot of new content. Again, the Dragon Boss was amazing. Just the overall structure. Maybe this is gonna be great as well. I haven't played it yet, but it just doesn't look like if I want to play a Far Cry game, I want to be in an open world. I don't want to do the roguelite sort of stuff, especially after all the DLC for this game has been like that. I will be streaming it just like the other DLCs. We can like figure it out together. But waiting for Far Cry Primal or New Dawn like DLC. This is not what I want. Yeah, that just is curious. Like, they could have done that. Like, I still think that a Voss DLC for $40 in Yara, like, have that be the New Dawn or something type of experience, would have been way more exciting. But maybe, just like Mirage, that turn into their own game. Like, I can totally see that. That again, it's not confirmed. I still think they're gonna do it because I think they're teasing, like, the Far Cry 3 10-year anniversary. I haven't seen them talk about a Far Cry game as much as Far Cry 5. We see Michael Mondo, the voice actor, or just the motion capture actor, of course, as well, behind Voss, like, show up everywhere. I totally think they have something planned. And maybe they were like, okay, so that is gonna be something else. We still want something here. What can you do with this? And I really think one of my biggest critiques also on Far Cry 6 was the enemy variety. And that it was always, oh no, go check this village or this location. And it would always be the, was it the Los Panteros or whatever they were called? It was always the same enemy. Like, it was always that or was an animal. And here we see that as well. And this, whatever this is. But, yeah, I don't know. They need to do something crazy, because I don't like how Far Cry 5 ends badly, no matter what. But I like New Dawn, and I want it to be canon. So they should do something crazy, so I have the best of both worlds. I think they already said, because they already said that the ending in Far Cry 5 was not canon. Or I don't think they are like saying every Far Cry universe is different. We of course have Boom Boom. They are kind of teasing. There are like Easter eggs, but yeah, they could not have done the Far Cry 5 sort of ending, and without it impacting Far Cry 6 in some way, and you don't really see it impacting it in any way. So $20, $20 if you have the season pass. Also, if you have the base game, so you can just skip the season pass altogether and just get this. I'll be playing, I will let you know. But this feels, I don't know, this feels like another Skull and Bones Ubisoft missing the mark, right? We want to be pirates, we want to leave our ship. We want a Far Cry game or a Far Cry DLC where you're actually in an open world. But they're like, no, that's roguelite stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That Ghost said, I don't know what you're saying. Look at the channel. We're making a ton of God of War content. That is one of the best games I ever played. But that Ghost, go live in your fantasy. Not sure why we're getting a lot of. We don't have to time or like remove people that are like. Paul is spamming, but we don't have to like remove Yannick's comment. If he has an opinion about Far Cry 6, that's fine. Wesley, you don't have to take that all down. Yeah, so that is it. The Far Cry 6 DLC. I will play it next week. We will see. But yeah, I think it will be like. I think it could still be fun, but yeah, forgettable. We will see. Is it Skull Bones expensive? Yeah, it's like, Paul, it's like full price, next gen. It's like €80, $70. I mean, we don't know if it's crap yet, but it just doesn't look appealing for what a Far Cry DLC, the idea that a Far Cry 6 DLC is coming. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave. Thanks everyone for watching. The good news still is, though, there is a Far Cry 6 update with New Game Plus. We'll check it out. So, thanks for watching. And we will see you later.